circus has kept children spellbound for centuries, surviving even the challenge of Johnny-come-lately high-tech entertainment. It has a simple charm with the glitter and the glamour. But to those performing day in and day out, it's a job, and the circus is a business which must make profits to survive. But this one, the American Circus, now touring Ireland, has seen those profits badly eaten into by the recent storms. They say the weather is getting worse year by year, and that means lost performances, which in turn means lost income, in a business of already tight finances. Manager of the American Circus, now based in Kilkenny, Ian Butson.
We found the last 3 years it's been slightly stronger winds than before, and that margin of extra strength has made a difference between the tent being secure and possible damage to the tent occurring during a storm. This year we've lost a couple of performances in the last couple of weeks because of the storms, mostly because of caution. And they've been quite a blustery storm last week at Carlow and the middle part of this week here in Kilkenny.
Any actual damage?
No damage because the tent wasn't up on either occasion, but they were quite nasty, gusty storms, and we were lucky that the tent wasn't up at the time.
And of course, if they lost the big top, there'd be no circus, no business. So for weeks now, they've had to abandon performances rather than risk the tent being damaged. And big tops don't come cheap. They can cost £40,000 and more.
We've lost 6 days' performances in the last fortnight. 3 at Carlow and 3 here, which obviously has a knock-on effect for the performances we actually give, because people aren't sure whether we are or are not performing.
And every lost performance means money lost.
Can be as much as £2,000 to £2,500 Irish.
And you've lost 6 of them?
We've lost 6, yes.
Presumably that matters.
It matters, but we tend to operate a business that's a day-to-day business, and you take those sort of financial problems in your stride, you know. It's part of living and working in a circus in the middle of the winter.
But having over 70 staff and performers sitting around waiting for the weather to improve is expensive. The company still has to carry costs, not least feeding the elephants, the lions, panthers, horses, and so on. Up to 60 bales of hay a day, countless pounds of meat. But the money loss hits almost everyone.
Well, the artists are on contract, and if there's a storm, they don't get paid. So that's their loss, but then they take that in their stride. And we have the regular stable staff, the animal grooms, and the tent staff, and of course the animals themselves, which get fed anyway. They just come out of the yearly expense of running the business.
So you have quite a bit of expense to carry if there's no money coming in?
Oh, yes, yes.
The American Circus tours Britain, Ireland, and sometimes America, of course. For them, being able to perform during the winter at all is a bonus. They've been basing themselves in Ireland for the winter season in the belief that winter here is milder. Now they're having to rethink, and moving to the better climate of southern Europe for the winter isn't the answer, they say. Every other circus in Europe is doing just that, and the market is too crowded. But with apparently worsening winters, they're being forced to consider abandoning winter performances here altogether.
They keep telling us it's a greenhouse effect, whether that's true or not, but we certainly out in the open feel the winds are stronger and are more regular than they have been in the past.
So you may go on losing performances?
We may have to restructure whether or not we actually come out during the winter, or whether we sit in the traditional winter quarters of the circus. It proved to be viable to come to Ireland because of the mild climate, or the milder climate. We now find that that may not be so anymore.
Well, apart from the weather, the budget was the